This is from Sam Kim. It says, has Ham talked about Deshaun Watson yet? We're about to. And it's not just Deshaun, John. Deshaun, John? It's not just Deshaun. It is, there are quite a few things. There's Rodgers. Deshaun is back with a vengeance as an NFL story. He disappeared from kind of the NFL news cycle. But guess what happened? Again, this week, teams start reporting. Deshaun reported Sunday. Showed up. Not only did he show up, Rap Sheet says he still wants out. Rap Sheet says his trade demands and his stance on playing for the Texans remain unchanged.
Awkward.
So,
Awkward.
Like you did the little $50,000, right, per day he could be fined. Rusty Harden don't work for free.
No.
There's that. There's Chandler Jones wants a trade. Chandler Jones wants a trade. They just like, Chandler, we just got you J.J. Watt. We're paying you $15.5 million this year. Chandler's like, that's cool. I want out. Michael Thomas is going to be out for half the year.
There's a lot of shit going on. You know, the best part about reporting is like the drama that you've forgotten about because there's so much stuff happening from free agency to the draft comes back to light. Starting with Deshaun Watson, and, you know, the cap guys would know this. What was going to make it complicated for a holdout / before his situation arose was like paying back signing bonuses. Florio wrote by showing up will force the NFL / the Texans to put him on that list. He will never be like, if they end up trading him, he just did the right thing. He missed 1 week of mandatory minicamp. That's all he missed. You can pay the fine, whatever. But he will never have to pay back his contract if they ultimately trade him because it's just like trading another player. Now, I think we all look at it like, God, there's so much other shit going on with them. But this is strictly a logistical accounting purposes for Deshaun and his camp. Yeah. Though, you don't just get to show up and then walk right out. You do have to go to meet. It's got to be pretty weird. What is he going to do? Is he on the sideline when Tyrod Taylor goes out with the ones?
It's easy to on report day to just show up. But what about when there's practice?
Well, there's going to be practice at minimum. We'll walk through tomorrow. Like he's got to – you're not going to – is he going to be their number one quarterback?
Is he going to be ignoring Davis Mills the whole time? Or is he going to be
it's
not
a bizarre
on the field? Do you get to count yourself as having shown up if you don't practice?
Well, to me, he's going to go to practice.
Yeah, I mean, but you can't just park in your parking spot and be like, I reported. It's like, well, there's a practice today.
Yeah, I would say it's a bizarre, awkward situation that clearly just got way more bizarre and awkward today, right? And does this force the NFL's hand just to put him on that list to end? Like, do you want this being talked about all the time when there is no finality to his situation, which is clearly not coming anytime soon?
Yeah, the one question, right, is like, would any team dare trade for him before there is a conclusion to his legal situation?
Can you, quote-unquote, buy low on a situation like this? I don't think you can.
I don't think you can, and I don't think the Texans really have. They've been in it this long. They don't have much incentive to trade him for a 5th-round pick to the Eagles right now.
No.
Right.
And, yeah, even with his baggage, I think maybe...
Sorry, 3rd-round pick to the Eagles.
Yeah.
Howard would be like, oh, well...
Yeah, I would say if the Eagles could get him for a 5th-round pick, that's where it's, again, like, he's untouchable. I don't think anyone would be like, I would have done it too. Take the risk, right?
Yeah, I mean, the Eagles have taken risks before. Now, part of it would be, hey, we believe... even though the legal process has not played itself out, we have an opinion on where this is going to go. Like, you can't do that unless you have an opinion.
Michael Vick was released from prison. Like, he served his time.
But here's where I would say, John, even, like, we'll use the Eagles because I think they're one of the – there's not a lot of destinations for them.
They have 3 first-round picks next year.
Well, okay, and they have the ammo. But there's not really even a lot of – like, let's say 2 weeks go by somehow. Let's just – in the world where it's all said and done, he's not going to – there's not going to be no legal punishment, okay? Now, is the NFL going to suspend him? Let's say it all plays itself out. He's going to get suspended for 2 weeks. He's not going to jail. He's not under probation. He's not found guilty of anything. Okay, he's available. How many teams are interested in Deshaun Watson at that point? Is Miami interested again?
Yeah, I think some teams start sniffing. I mean, the Niners are out. Right?
Yeah, there's less teams now than there was before, and there weren't that many teams before. The Jets were one of the teams before. Well, they're out.
They're out. Yeah.
The Niners were one of the teams. They're out. So
I'd say the Panthers would still sniff around.
Yeah, and who knows? By the time, if you're the Texans, maybe you have an incentive to wait. Maybe in 2 months, the Panthers are more in than they would be right now after they've gotten a chance to see Sam Darnold.
What if they have a week of practices and pads? They're like, God, we think we got something here, right?
Yeah. Now, what if Tua has a good preseason? Now that takes a team. I don't know, but there's really nothing to do. The other thing, we talked about Rodgers. What we did not talk about was Rodgers and Davante, basically Haberman and Middlecoff in their final summer of 2016 at terrestrial radio, both posting the Jordan Pippen Last Dance on their IG stories. I mean, these guys.
Do you see Kittle's IG story?
No, what was his?
It was Patrick Ewing looking dumbfounded, staring at Rodman doing something weird, clearly fucking with him, trying to be funny. It was a funny picture.
Zadarius Smith, unhappy, Florio says. Apparently, Zadarius didn't know they could, spread his guaranteed money over 17 weeks instead of paying him in the summer. Florio wrote basically his agent did not inform him properly of the way his contract's going to work because his cap number is going to be massive now in 2022, which means he's getting cut or restructured.
The thing, I would say he's relatively normal NFL drama. Right, we'll talk about Chandler Jones.
Yeah, if you were on another team, it wouldn't be a thing, but that you combine it with Rodgers and Davante.
Yeah, I think the craziest part is for them, they have three. They have the best quarterback, the reigning MVP. I think you can argue, but they have the best wide receiver, and Zadarius has been one of the better front seven players in the league the last 2 years since he's been a Packer. He's been awesome. He's been their best defensive player by a mile. I guess Jair Alexander's been good too, but he's been an unreal player. Your three best players are pissed off. It is. They have themselves a problem on their hand.
Rodgers kind of contagious.
Yeah, Rodgers started the problem.
But do you know how many touchdown catches Davante Adams had last year? Does anybody know? Led the league. He had 18.
Davante Adams had 18 touchdowns last year?
Do you know how many players in the history of the NFL have had more than 18 catches in a single season?
Probably 5.
2.
Randy Moss and
Jerry
Rice.
When I saw the number 18, I just Googled what's the NFL? It seems kind of high.
What was it, 24 or something, Randy?
Randy had 23, the Patriots year. Jerry had 22. Adams, Mark Clayton had 18 in 84 when Marino threw 48. And then Sterling Sharpe in 94 in Green Bay had 18.
I was watching the ACC, American Century Classic.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant.
And Sterling has played in that, I think, he's big, right? He's pretty chubby now. And when I say chubby, he's got the hard gut. My gut's flabby. He's got the hard. And I just God, Shannon always said he was, remember his Shannon Sharpe's Hall of Fame speech, I wasn't even the best guy in my own family.
Yeah.
You Google Sterling Sharpe from 91 to 96. It was Jerry Rice and him. And really, he was young, so he was going to be viewed as the next year. And then he clearly had an injury, and it was over right as Favre was taken off. Pretty sad. You talk about an elite that, the Sharpe sperm. Holy moly. Jesus. That is I'd tell you this, the Middlecoffs and the Habermans, we could combine our two, and we wouldn't be their calf muscle. Right? That's incredible, guy. Incredible, those two guys.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of, Davante, I understand Davante, right? He doesn't want to play with, he wants to be a free agent coming off of a year with Aaron.
I do think there was some complications, though, that I saw Florio or one of those guys. The Arizona Cardinals fucked up the wide receiver market because they gave DeAndre Hopkins a short, a 2-year deal that was basically $50 million guaranteed, 25 a year. Well, the going rate for a top wide receiver is that 20 mark. Well, Davante's no, the highest paid wide receiver is DeAndre making 25 a year, and the Packers refuse to go there.
Yeah, he wants to be the highest paid guy.
In fairness to Davante Adams, doesn't he have a pretty good argument?
Yeah.
Would you rather have Davante Adams?
The Packers
Adams
it's not our fault they're responsible, Davante. Well,
I think I think Davante's easier. DeAndre, I think can be
was he retired or is he back?
We're gonna find out.
The retiree team this year in the league could be really good.
Could be pretty big, yeah.
Chandler Jones, John, they got a problem there. Chandler's making 15.5 this year, doesn't want to show up, wants a trade.
You blame him?
Do I blame him? He's got $15 million to make this year.
No, I'm just saying, I think once you've had a couple years making 15 and then all these guys start making 23, 24, you're well, you guys tell me I'm the best pass rusher in the league. My peers always say, God damn, Chandler Jones, he's as good as any. Yeah. And it's you get to the point sometimes in the NFL where we say, you know what Chandler's move is? You do not show up.
So sign 2-year contracts, not 5-year contracts.
Well, it's hard to do when they're throwing $60, $70 million in front of you.
So I don't blame him, but
that's where the NFL gets you.
Michael Thomas, we're going to talk about.
Be gotcha.
We're gonna talk.
Parag's like, not guaranteed.
Tuesday's pod is going to be a NFC West preview. There's going to be a lot of NFC West preview stuff. Michael Thomas, the Saints, Michael Thomas, he's on everybody's NFC schedule, NFC West schedule this year. So is he on everybody's schedule? Maybe not everybody plays the Saints. That doesn't sound right. But
every team in the league?
No. Just like the NFC West. The Seahawks play the Saints. Maybe that's it. Why did I think everybody? Anyway, the point is Michael Thomas is out 6 to 8 weeks plus another 6 to 8 weeks, they say, with an injury.
The NFC West plays the AFC South.
Right. So everybody plays
NFC South.
Yeah, but Seahawks get the Saints anyway.
As a strength of schedule game.
Yeah.
Are we sure the Bucs aren't going to go 6-0 in that division? I mean, Carolina's not going to be that good. The Saints, while they have a great coach and they do have talent, they got issues, and the Falcons could be terrible. So it's like, this guy, listen, anytime that you sign a young star player, that you go, this guy, especially when you don't draft him in the first round, a Davante Adams, a George Kittle, you feel pretty good about it. You're like, we got a star, and we a little found money because we got him cheap early. Michael Thomas was incredible. Since they signed him to that huge contract, it has been a disaster. Last year, they had to suspend him for a game. Remember, it was like, is he really injured? Like, Sean Payton didn't feel like they liked him. To me, I don't know enough about this story beside that he got surgery like 2 weeks ago. Like, bro, what are we doing? Why didn't he get the surgery? Could he have got it in May or April? This is something where it's like, remember the Shaq comment? Like, I got hurt on company time. I'm gonna rehab on company time. I don't think you can discount it with this guy with what's gone on. Like, it has not gone smoothly.
No,
if you say like Kamara is a good example. Like, you would say Alvin Kamara nailed that 3rd round pick, and it has been awesome for them. This has kind of been the opposite.
Well, it felt foolproof in some ways. He led the league in catches back-to-back years. He had 149 catches in 2019.
Trying to get paid.
Catches.
That's a lot. That's just not even trying to get paid. That's just kicking ass, taking names.
The year before, he led the league in catches with 125 in 2018.
Was that his rookie year?
No, that was his 3rd year. His rookie year was 16. He came out of the gate 92 catches as a rookie. But, John, this guy had 125 catches on 147 targets. That's 85%. That's ridiculous.
That's
85%.
Yes.
The next year he had more catches than he had targets the year before when he'd led the league in catches the year before.
Yeah. He felt like, because he wasn't a guy predicated on running super fast, right? It was like, didn't he have like a better Keenan Allen? Like, this guy is just going to be 120 catches for like a decade.
And like, unlike Keenan, he was just like on this team that knew, like, that was able to maximize him, and he was healthy. He was playing for 3 years.
Great
basically.
Coach, Hall of Fame quarterback. Now it feels that's
no Hall of Fame quarterback.
No, definitely not.
Hall of Fame offseason quarterback. Yeah. Jameis swinging towels at a dog, but. I love that Jameis keeps doing the same. Like, Jameis he must have a sense of humor that he loves that everyone just keeps.
But I also think like his workout guy gives him these, and he probably thinks like it works.
Yeah,
right? That's his workout guy clearly thinks a little outside the box. Like, it just Tom's does too, but no one makes fun of Tom when you win. Like, if a player, did we talk about the picture of Roethlisberger?
We did a little bit, yes.
Yeah, and he claimed like he didn't put out that he was on the diet. He's like, I didn't talk to that guy. Kind of like, I don't know why you guys thought I was like eating the keto diet. Like, no, well, I don't know.
Just trimmed his beard.
Yeah. Someone DM me a picture like, you called him fat. Like, look at this picture. I'm like, yeah, he's 6'6". So the one picture with the T-shirt, you could tell he's a little rolly. When his jersey's on, he's fucking huge. Like, even when Shaq was older and he was quote unquote chubby, he doesn't look like a 5'10" guy that weighs 250 pounds. Their weight is much more proportional when you have that much body mass index of size, right? Roethlisberger is not the pillar of health.
No. But if you fell on your leg, it's really incredible, actually, that he's had, we'll see how many years he's got left in him, that he maintains this without ever really feeling like his body's beat up the whole time. There's never any 4 years ago he started doing stretching and now he's super flexible. He's just kind of what everyone would do if they could get away with it, which is just get off the couch and play. I mean, I know he works harder than that, but that's kind of the antithesis of Brady. And obviously he's not as good as Brady anymore. But there are times where you watch him and you go, this guy's still pretty good. Now, there are other times you watch him and you go, they got to find somebody else. But
in the Browns, was it the Browns playoff game where they were down like 40-0? It felt like he was pretty bad. But then they came storming back.
He had some bad.